Just bees. Hold on a second. Bees. Bee brain. Big bee brain energy. Bees.
Open the box, Joe!
I'm Leslie, and I use she, her pronouns.
And I'm Elliot, and I use they, them pronouns. Today we're going to be talking about an incredible group of people. Lesbians. This is going to be the first video in a series of videos about the LGBTQIA acronym. To start us off, what is a lesbian?
Usually, when someone says they're a lesbian, that means they're a woman who is sexually or emotionally attracted to women. But non-binary and trans people can be lesbians as well.
Right. And there are different flags for lesbians who use they, them pronouns and lesbians who use he, him pronouns. Basically, if you're not a cisgendered man, you're attracted to women, and you identify as a lesbian, you're a lesbian. And it's important to respect people's labels, even if they're not what you're used to.
And people can be lesbians even if they're attracted to other genders besides women. For example, you might be bisexual, attracted to women and another gender like men or non-binary people, and still call yourself a lesbian.
Right, because people can use multiple labels if that's what makes them the most comfortable.
Exactly.
Like, you can be pansexual and a lesbian.
True, but another thing to remember is that even before we had all these English words to describe sexual identities, lesbians were still around. Lesbians have been around for basically forever.
Like, the word lesbian came from the island of Lesbos, where the Greek poet Sappho lived from 600s to 500s BC. Because of the content of her poetry, many people, like me,
And me.
think that Sappho was a lesbian.
We're planning on doing another video about lesbians throughout history, but just know for now that lesbians have been around for a long time.
Another word to know when talking about lesbians is the word sapphic. This comes directly from Sappho's name and is an adjective to describe lesbians or lesbianism.
Some other words you might hear are homosexual and gynosexual. They're a little different from lesbian because they're more specific.
Right. In their book, The ABCs of LGBT, Ash Mardell talks about how homosexuality and gynosexuality refers to someone who is attracted to women or femininity. These terms were created to be more inclusive of non-binary people because if someone's non-binary, attracted to women, and they don't like how the word lesbian implies that they too are a woman, these words might be better for them.
And someone can also claim the words homosexual and gynosexual, along with the lesbian label.
Right, because everyone gets to decide what labels best describe them. So everyone's experience is different, and I know you can only speak from your own personal experience, but Leslie, you identify as a lesbian, right?
Yeah.
So what does the word lesbian mean for you? Like, when you tell someone else you're a lesbian, what do you mean by that?
Well, first of all, sexuality is fluid, so what I'm going to answer today might not be true in the future for me. However, for right now, I would say that I'm attracted to women and feminine presenting people. As I started exploring my sexuality and started accepting that I might be a lesbian, I tried to figure out exactly what I found attractive in women. And honestly, I don't think I ever really landed on a solid answer for that, other than I know when I've had strong feelings of attraction, it's been with a girl.
Is lesbian the only label you use, or do you identify with other labels as well?
I would say lesbian is the main label I use. I don't think I use any other labels as of right now. I've done some soul searching about my gender as well. I found that I enjoy presenting and dressing androgynously, but I feel comfortable and confident in my label as a woman. And I don't think I'd be happy as a man, and I don't think non-binary feels right to me either.
When did you first start to think that you were a lesbian?
Before I knew what attraction was, I remember in preschool there was this girl, and I don't remember anything about her, not a single thing. I remember I just really, really wanted to hang out with this girl, like more than anything. And over the years, I always had like that same kind of feeling with certain types of girls. It was usually like the bookworm, nerdy type of girls. And I always wanted to be like really best friends with them. And I never really had like that intense of a desire to be friends or close with someone unless it was with that type of girl. Over the years, like there may have been some guys that I might have been like quote unquote interested in, but I think when it comes down to it, that was just internalized compulsive heterosexuality, because I didn't feel the same way about those guys that I did about those girls.
That makes sense. So, what would you say to someone who is still questioning their identity and thinks that they might be a lesbian?
I would say that it's okay that you don't know, or if you're not ready to accept it. It's okay to identify as a lesbian and change your mind later. Like I said, sexuality is fluid, and your label can be too. If you don't want to label it, you don't have to. It's supposed to make you feel better, more like yourself. It shouldn't feel like you're limiting yourself. Your labels are really just for you and how you feel.
Thanks, Leslie. So, in recap,
A lesbian can be anyone who is not a cisgendered man
who is attracted to women exclusively or non-exclusively,
and wants to identify as a lesbian.
as always, we hope that you were able to learn something from this video.
If you have any questions or you have any ideas for future videos, leave us a comment down below or DM us on Instagram at Queer Resources.
We hope you enjoyed this video and hope to see you again next time.